Welcome to my channel where I said there are only two types of conservatives, the selfish and the stupid, and all of the woke are stupid. Let's hear more about what Vivek Ramaswamy has to say.
I just wanted to ask, I'm 17, I'm going to be coming out of high school here, and of course I'm thinking about college. I've also spent my first year in high school during the pandemic, and those were the worst years of my life. For anyone who has kids who knows what it was like to go through online class, I can attest that there is nothing more isolating than sitting behind a screen.
Well, I'm sure being stuck in prison in isolation is more isolating, but I understand what she's trying to say.
So for the past 2 years, I've been doing work in the education sector, specifically through a nonprofit I've started. And doing that, I've begun to collect data that has been showing that kids, especially of high school age, are at least 2 to 5 years behind where they're supposed to be. Coming into college with college tuition prices at an all-time high, what is going to be happening? Never before have kids been more pushed to go into college than they are today. Now they're graduating with degrees that many of them can't use, now strapped with college debt, and then the government is coming to clear that debt, which is a very vicious cycle. I want to know how we, in concrete steps, can fix the rift that COVID has caused, as well as aid the financial mountain that stands in front of all college students.
This is a really good question, and my heart goes out to this young lady because I know it was tough for her to be isolated like she described. In order to get to the part of the video that I really want to respond to, I'm going to paraphrase his answer. He says he's really proud of her for her accomplishments in starting a nonprofit, and he says there's nothing they can do about closing the schools down. It's too late, which I agree with, and it was a mistake to close the schools for COVID. He also wants to get rid of the Department of Education, bust up teacher unions, and he really likes charter schools. I'll post a longer version of this video for anyone who wants to hear his full answer and my response to each of his points.
You're still able to be strengthened by that hardship too, because this is going to be an odd thing to say, but in every hardship is still an opportunity. Right? You will never be the same for that hardship, but you may never be the same in ways that are good, that made you stronger. Maybe you never had that experience of starting a nonprofit, gaining a leadership experience that you never had as a teenager that ordinary teenagers would not have had. Who knows? Maybe you will be the person who's leading that company years from now. Maybe you will be running for president of the United States and run the executive branch of government better than I did because you have a good sense of what it means to lead that you picked up at a young age. Who knows what good will come of this too? We have to be open to that possibility. Would we have gotten out of World War II if FDR had never had polio and been in a wheelchair? I don't know.
Well, technically speaking, we didn't get out of World War II till after FDR died, and Harry Truman made the decision to drop 2 atomic bombs onto Japan. But I think what he's trying to say is because FDR had polio, I guess it made him more resilient and helped him to win the war in Europe, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure he would have made the same decisions whether he had polio or not.
Does that mean we wish polio on everybody in this country? Of course it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But as I said earlier, hardship is not a choice. It happens to you. Victimhood is a choice. We choose victory. To me, that's my best definition of what it means to be a conservative.
A common brainwashing technique is to redefine words. That is not the definition of the word conservative. When I Google define conservative, I get adverse to change or innovation and holding traditional values. Second is in a political context favoring free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas. He defines conservatism as people who can overcome hardships, but the example he gave is FDR, who was a Democrat. He's the guy who started Social Security. By the way, the first people to receive Social Security never paid into the system. It was funded by taxing rich people. I think he's also trying to insinuate that liberals like me have never overcome hardships. I have overcome hardships that I don't even think he can begin to understand. This is me right after having major stomach surgery. And this is me about 1 year later knocking out handstand push-ups. I have had 3 major stomach surgeries and 2 heart surgeries, and I have also raised my daughters as a single father. Are you really going to tell me that I haven't overcome hardships because I'm a liberal? And I have overcome a lot worse hardships than that, but I can't tell you because I'm not sure my family would want our dirty laundry out there for everyone. I can tell you to overcome these hardships, it took a hell of a lot of hard work from me, self-discipline, but it also took a lot of help from family members who loved me and cared about me, which I'm sure is true for the lady who was asking this question. Even though she was suffering, being isolated, being in home all the time, taking her classes online, I'm sure she had family members to help support her.